Hello, everybody, and welcome to R2 Dimes, the Hooper podcast where we talk only basketball. I am joined here with Riley,
Hello.
and we're just
Good.
going to be talking about some basketball together. The reason why we wanted to start this podcast is because we already talk basketball a lot, and we thought, hey, why not record it and post it? So here we are. We have a couple of topics written down, and we're just going to get straight into it. So the first topic that we need to address is about LeBron James. Obviously, he's been known as the best player in the world for a while now. How long do you think he's been the best player in the world? For more than 10 years, for sure, but like...
When did Kobe retire? Just kidding.
But
Yeah.
anyways, he's been in the league
Yeah.
for a long time. Anonymous, best player in the league, and probably one of the best of all time. You know, one episode we're going to get into the GOAT debate, even though it might not be a debate. But basically, his reign and title of best player in the world has been kind of tested this season because of how the Lakers are doing, and it just hasn't been good. You know, his legacy's been tested and questioned. But the real question I want to bring up is lots of people are saying that LeBron's no longer the best player in the league anymore. So I just want to know what you thought of this.
I think there's a difference between best player in the league, just best player in the league, and best season for a player. I guess is how I would explain it.
Because if we were talking about season, I think Giannis has been the best player this season. But lots of people are saying that he's the best player in the NBA right now, which is just not the case, even though he's having a better year, exactly. Like, just talent-wise...
What do you think, like, in terms of year, what do you think is the best?
What do you mean?
Like, in terms of who's having the best year, what do you think that is?
I think that Giannis is having the best year. But, because if you look at things, is LeBron even an all-NBA player this year? Like,
An all-NBA player.
He's obviously going to get up there because it's LeBron James and he's going to get votes. But, like, there's no way he should be ahead of Durant, Paul George, Kawhi.
I think he could get all-NBA second team this year.
I think he should be all-NBA third team. If we're
Third?
looking at, I put, because think of these five players. You got Giannis, Durant, LeBron, Kawhi, and Paul George. Who do you put on all-NBA third team? Kawhi's the number 2 seed right now. He's been playing amazing. Paul George is an MVP candidate. Durant's obviously Durant. And then you also got Giannis, who's my MVP for this year. So, one of them's got to be all-NBA third team. It probably won't be LeBron because he's going to get the votes, but do you think he should be on there?
If I'm thinking who realistically do I see making all-NBA third team, I could see Kawhi being the odd man out.
Plus, all those guys are what? Top 3 seeds?
That's true.
And LeBron's the
Thunder,
11th seed?
Are the Thunder
Oh, the Thunder are the 4th seed, but still.
Yeah, that's
he's still been an MVP candidate the whole year.
Yeah, they've been dropping. They've actually been dropping a couple games lately.
Yeah, the Rockets have surpassed them. But...
That's crazy. James Harden's balling this season.
But yeah, so LeBron, in my opinion, he's still the best player in the league, but he hasn't had the best season. And if you look at it, where would you rank his season? In the top, whatever. Because there's James Harden, there's Giannis, there's Durant, there's Curry. There's all these guys having better years than him. So,
First, you got Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think's having the next best season, PG or
probably Harden? But PG brings that defense.
I don't know, PG, exactly.
Yeah. But... I mean, Harden had that great run, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter. They're both having better seasons than LeBron.
Yeah.
So, Harden, Giannis, Durant, Curry, Davis. Davis is having a better season, even though he's only playing like 20 minutes a game.
Team success is worse than the Lakers, though. I don't know.
Team success is worse. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if... Yeah, probably not. But, Kawhi, Paul George, Jokic is having a better year than LeBron, which is... If you would have told me that at the beginning of the season, that Jokic would have a better season than LeBron, that's crazy. The Nuggets, bravo to them. They've done a lot. Because last year, they didn't even make the playoffs. Them and the Timberwolves had that game against each other, where whoever won made the playoffs, which was kind of cool. But then... I mean, it worked out because they took MPJ, who looks like he's going to be a star once healthy. And I feel like he would be a perfect fit on that team. Because they need that other option. It brings more depth to that amazing team. But anyways, Embiid's probably had a better year than LeBron this year. Do you think that? I mean, there's other guys that you can question, like Westbrook, Cat, and Lillard. I mean, they've had really good years, but are they better than LeBron's
Westbrook's
years?
had good stretches.
Westbrook's had good
Or, sorry,
stretches, yeah.
not Westbrook. Well, I mean, he's had decent stretches, but I was.
You meant
referring
Cat
to-
or Kyrie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
Cat's
Cat.
ever since Butler got traded, he's just been a monster. And he's also my prediction for the 2K20 cover, but I mean
Wait,
that's
Cat?
kinda-
Oh yeah.
yeah, because I feel like the top players, he's the only one I can really see. But yeah, to recap, LeBron, in my opinion, best player in the world this season. You know, he's got to step it up for next season and the year after that. But overall, the Lakers management has been poorly run, and you can't put all the blame on him, but I think that he should take some responsibility for the team's success.
Wait, LeBron?
Yeah, because he hasn't really been taking that much responsibility for the struggles of the team.
Yeah. And it's not all his fault.
It's
like,
not all his fault, but yeah.
That a lot of that, if I'm being honest, does fall on management.
Did you hear what's the girl owner for the Lakers? She was trying to trade LeBron at the deadline. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
She was shopping him.
Jeannie
yeah.
Buss, that's her name, right?
Jeannie Buss, yeah. She was trying to shop LeBron at the deadline. Was it Steve Van Gundy who said that?
Wasn't that when? Yes.
Was it Stan? Oh, it's a Van Gundy.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Stan. Van
No,
Gundy.
Stan was the So Steve Van Gundy also said that they should trade LeBron.
Jeff, who the fuck is Steve?
Oh, whoopsies. But
I was
anyways,
like, what?
yeah, no. But he said that LeBron, that they should trade LeBron, and you know, there's lots of drama going there. I don't know if they're gonna attract a big free agent, but we'll get into free agents later in the episode. Moving on to the next subject, going out east. You know, LeBron, through his whole career, you know, he's been obviously strived through that Eastern Conference, but now that he's left, it's looking pretty strong. And you know, it brings the question of, you know, if there's going to be a team that's going to beat the Warriors, it's probably going to be a team out east. But which team out east do you think can best compete with the Warriors? I mean, yeah, but I think that a team in the East I think Bucks or Raptors are the best matchups.
Best bet.
But we're going to get into a discussion about this. So
okay, talent-wise, the Sixers match up best against the Warriors.
Well, they're just star-loaded.
Exactly, talent-wise.
Exactly.
But
now let's start with...
realistically, you'd think that'd be the best way to match up against the Warriors, but they still have some improvements they need to do.
The Warriors just have a bunch more questions than answers this season. Because, I question Boogie and how he's going to do it. How many minutes he's going to play in the playoffs? Because he can't play defense. And that first couple games with Boogie, he didn't look too bad, but then teams looked at him after 5 games, and now they know how to guard him. And
that's true.
He's just not physically able to run the floor. And yeah, exactly.
I mean, he still has time to get in better shape. I don't think he's ever going to get back. Well,
and his defense has been even worse because of all this. So if it was a Sixers,
such a hard injury to recover from.
If it was a Sixers Warriors series, Embiid would kill. But then again, he probably would be tired because
Embiid gets tired.
Embiid gets worn down a lot. So, they would just wear each other down.
Spent his freaking first 3-4 years of his career barely even being able to play. So
yeah, but I mean, it's easy to guard Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons is the real X factor and how far they go into the playoffs.
If Simmons isn't performing, then
if Simmons doesn't perform, then that team falls apart because he's their facilitator, and teams are gonna be able to guard him quite easily. So there's one thing.
I mean, look at how the Celtics guarded him last season.
Exactly, and Embiid notoriously doesn't really play good against the Celtics, so that's the only reason I think that the Celtics skip up a fight. Other than that, they've been complete crap this year. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
I had faith in them earlier.
They're so disappointing.
But now, yeah, they just don't have it together. That's why I think that they are the 4th team in the East, maybe even. I mean, obviously the Pacers are lower than them because it's
not with Oladipo. If they
Oladipo, they'd be way higher.
If they had Oladipo, also
without a star,
Bogdanovich has been balling without Oladipo.
Well, because who else is going to take those shots?
Well, exactly, but even still,
Miles Turner too has been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And Wesley Matthews, I didn't even know he played on the team.
I forgot, yeah.
He's actually been playing really good for them.
Hit that buzzer beater last night.
Well, it depends on when they watch this video. That's how YouTube works.
I mean, it's still last night. What?
Well, it's last
For
night
us.
for us. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, best team in the East. Okay, so we got into a little bit of a discussion earlier, and we were gonna save it for this podcast. So I think that the best team in the East right now is the Toronto Raptors, and you earlier said the Bucks. So do you still stand by that?
I mean, I think it depends how you guard Mr. Giannis, because like it's either you give up threes, because
But
someone's gonna fucking splash on your head on that team,
can I
or
say
you give
something?
up Giannis dunking on you in the paint.
Giannis, his jumper, his three, I've been watching, it's been getting better. It's a lot smoother, and I think in the past 10 games, he's shooting like 36% from three. So
That's
like,
true. He has been shooting better. From
he has
three.
been shooting better from three, and that's obviously one of his biggest weaknesses and why people knack on him. But I mean, I don't know. But if we go back to the Raptors, I think the Raptors are just a better team because they have more experience. Obviously, when you have a Finals MVP in Kawhi, you also. I know they've been bounced in the first round or in the early rounds a lot by LeBron, but there's no LeBron this year. But I mean, there may be the second coming of LeBron.
They don't have DeRozan anymore either. They don't have any more.
Well, I mean, Kyle Lowry still tends to, but he's obviously gonna be.
Kyle Lowry didn't play that bad last year though.
No, but he's still gonna be a huge X factor on their team.
Yeah,
But
if everyone has to.
The
for that team.
There's two reasons why I put the Raptors above the Bucks. A, it's because of the depth. I really like the Raptors' depth on their team. Their bench is way better. They have Gasol on the bench.
That's
Jeremy Lin. They have OG, who's decent. Fred VanVleet.
I was like, what the Bucks have Pau Gasol? Sorry, you're talking about Mark. I was like, what?
Yeah. Oh, the Gasol brothers. Eastern Conference Finals Gasols.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
I didn't even think about that until now. And they also got a deadly starting lineup with Danny Green, Kawhi, Pascal, Kyle Lowry, Ibaka. That's the only reason I put them above is because that, and I also put them above because experience. It's kind of hard in the NBA to put a team that hasn't gone past the first round before to all the way to the finals.
That's true. That's definitely
because
true.
this
Experience does mean a lot.
Their group hasn't been together that long and they haven't gone through a lot, so that's obviously they picked up Pau Gasol probably just for playoff experience because he's really not getting any minutes over there. But again, at the end of the day, I think that the bench for the Raptors is better, and I really like the Bucks starting lineup though. But obviously they're two evenly matched teams, and it'd be a good playoff series.
What is the Bucks starting rotation? Because like they got Mirotic, so how do they run it? Do they run?
I could search that up.
Do they run Mirotic off the bench?
I think they might be. I don't think he's being that. I'm gonna search it up right now. Just give me a second. But yeah, obviously Giannis is just a beast. They have Bledsoe, who just signed that extension a little bit ago, which is really good for them. Because lots of their guys are free agents this year, and locking one of them up, that just solidifies them. And I mean, who wouldn't want to re-sign with the Bucks, because they've been doing so well, and who would have thought that they would have been doing this well, So
I knew they were gonna do this well. Just kidding.
No, everyone didn't think that they were gonna be this good. Well, maybe some people did, but like it wasn't really expected. But Mike Budenholzer, Coach of the Year?
Budenholzer, Coach of the Year.
Yeah, for sure. The rotation, they're running Mirotic off the bench right now. With the Bucks, he has averaged 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 42% from the field. They run a rotation. Yeah, they still run their same rotation, which I like that. I like how they kept that starting rotation intact. So, that's our thoughts. The Sixers, the Celtics. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about the Celtics because they're just bad. There's no sugarcoating it. They're just bad. Them and the Lakers. Kyrie and LeBron missing each other. I don't know.
Kyrie to the Lakers.
I don't know.
Where do you think Kyrie's gonna go? Actually,
we're gonna wait until the going or staying game, which I mean we can play right now. So.
Wait, what'd you have next?
What do I have to think? Oh, I was gonna talk about J.R. Smith. So, our homie J.R. Smith, we played some park. We played some park with him.
No, we didn't. We just chased him around.
We were in his lobby, which is still pretty neat. I'll probably put a screenshot on the screen now. But basically, J.R. Smith is...
He's too lazy for that.
I mean, no, I'm not. But JR, if you watch the Bill Simmons podcast, you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't really know how to explain it that well, but basically, they're saying how J.R. Smith is basically the biggest trade asset or he's the biggest X factor of this whole free agency because the Cavs can trade him, and then I think the team that gets him waives him, and then they only like take on 1.5 of his contract. Yeah. So basically, they just gain cap space.
Because if they cut him, it stretches over 5 seasons, I believe.
Exactly, for only like 1.5 mil or something. So that's like nothing, you know? Yeah, he's making 14.7 million right now, and then with the team option of 15.68. So I believe how it works, do they accept that and then waive him? I don't know how it really all works, but if you look at a team, and this is really key because lots of teams need cap space. If you look at a team like the Miami Heat, they're just riddled with bad contracts. They got Whiteside, Ryan Anderson, James Johnson, Kelly Olynyk, Dion Waiters.
Anderson? I didn't know that, bro.
They traded him for Tyler Johnson, but he has a team option. He has a team option at the end of this season. So they did get rid of one bad contract, but they still got Whiteside, which this works for JR because if you trade a bad contract and like a first for JR and then waive him, you're giving up a first for like close to 20 mil in cap. So if you're a team like the Heat who can attract big free agents, because obviously the market, people want to play in Miami. It's just that their team right now isn't really, their cap space isn't really
can't afford anything.
They've actually been doing, I really like Richardson, Winslow, and Bam. I really like those guys. But obviously they'd probably have to give...
Bam's a beast.
Bam?
Everybody loves Bam.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, they have a decent, like, well, whatever. They have, I don't know, that's decent to start with, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think of some other teams that would want that cap. Like the Celtics. I mean, you got Hayward's contract. I mean, are they really going to drop off Gordon Hayward? That's another thing. Hayward has not been doing good this season. He's making $34 million in his last year of his contract. So 3 more years of over $30 million to Gordon Hayward. He better step it up if they want to.
Wait, what? So, sorry, what'd you say?
Gordon Hayward's making $31 million this year, 32 the next year, 34 player option in 2021.
He's a player option?
Yeah. Well, because they signed Gordon... Go on.
They have him for next year, and then it's the player option, is it not? Wait, that's what you said.
They have him this season, right? Next season for sure.
Next season,
so this current season, which is nearing an end, yeah. And then not next year, but the year after that, he has a player option, which he'll probably accept because he's making $34 million. Why would he, But
drop that for him. I mean, maybe his legacy over $30 million.
No way. Well, who knows what the Celtics are gonna look like in that amount of time? But
that's true.
I mean, if they do get that cap space, if they lose out on Kyrie Irving, and then they get that cap space for JR, then they could get some cap and try to make a move and try to move on from Kyrie. Because Danny Ainge, he's always got lots of things up his sleeve. We don't know what he's going to do. But the Celtics' future is very choppy right now. The Clippers could use that cap as well, if they want to sign another big free agent. There's just lots of teams that could use it. But if you would want to use it, you have to know that someone would come to your team. Because if you're a market team that no one really wants to come to, like the Pistons aren't going to do it because, what are they getting capped for? They're already in cap hell, so there's really no point in them doing that. But moving on, staying on the topic of cap, we are going to talk about the game where we go through free agents of this season, and we're just going to discuss if they are staying with their current team or if they were going to a new destination in the offseason. So we'll start with Kevin Durant. Do you think he is staying with the Warriors this next season or he is gone?
Oh, Kevin Durant, man. That's such a big one. I don't know.
Do you want to move on or do you want to come back to it? Okay. I'll tell you what I think. I think he's gone. I just don't know where. I think it's like 80% chance he's gone, 20% chance he stays.
He stays.
Because, I don't know. I just don't... I'm not very high...
80 to 20?
I think it's that high. I don't know if he's coming back. I don't think he's coming back. There's already questions about the management. You know, there's lots of question marks in the Warriors organization, and I think that he's going to take this chance to dip into a new situation. Obviously, there's lots of rumors about the Nets, New York, you know, other teams, Clippers, but I think he's more likely to go than stay. But if we move on to his team... Okay. Yeah.
As I think the man just wants his money, so as long as he gets paid, that's all he wants.
I think he really likes the idea of going to the Knicks. He really wants to go to New York. So? I think so. But if we move on to his teammate, Klay Thompson, I think he's 100% staying. I don't really think that he likes Golden State. I think he's gonna stay there. I don't think there's any reason for him to leave, and he just seems like he's just gonna stay.
He also seems pretty loyal to.
He seems pretty loyal to Oak. Well, aren't they relocating this season or after this year?
Oh yeah. Yes,
this is the last year of the Oracle, and I don't know if they're just building a new one or if they're relocating somewhere else. I think they're going somewhere else. I'm not entirely sure, but I know that they're not going to be
to San Francisco.
Oh yeah, that's right. So are they going to change the name, or is
no? I think
San Francisco
Warriors? I think they're San Francisco Warriors. Yeah.
Dang. Okay. Moving on to another teammate of the Warriors, DeMarcus Cousins. Do you think he's going or staying?
DeMarcus Cousins.
I think he's for sure gone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they lose, that team's not very good anymore. I guess they have Klay still. Actually, I would like to see Cousins gone because it brings back the original Warriors big three.
Well, if Durant leaves.
Well, yeah, if Durant leaves. So if they both leave,
I predict.
Then you got the original big three. I mean, obviously the team's not the same at all, but.
No. What if the Warriors got JR and then got that cap and then they just signed someone else?
I mean,
do you think? Not like a big guy, but like some depth to help that team. Because like, who do they have after Curry, Klay, and Draymond after this year? They got Iggy, Sean Livingston. They don't have the same bench as previous years in that same depth.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I really like Jordan Bell, but he's not going to be your star, you know, off the bench.
He's not.
No. But the only reason DeMarcus really went to the Warriors was for money, to reshape his image, and to just, or not money, so that he just wanted to win a championship, basically, I think, and then and then just get the big bag in the offseason. But I don't really see what team is going to target him. I mean, obviously it's DeMarcus Cousins, but there's just a lot of big question marks on him. Yeah, Boogie.
Yeah. I mean, well, what team? I don't know. Like,
well, how much do you think he would want?
I don't think he's dumb enough to want a max, but.
I mean, he probably knows in his heart that he thinks that he's worth that much because of how he played before. That's the type of player he is, like the level of player he is.
Can be that,
but he hasn't shown to other teams that he could be that, which is why he wanted to sign with the Warriors, to prove that he is that max level, but with the way he's been playing, it's not been working out for them.
He's not.
Yeah. So we're moving on to my favorite player, Kyrie Irving, staying or leaving.
The Celtics?
Yeah.
If he does leave, where do you think he goes?
I don't know, man. Here's what I think. I think that he is more likely to leave than stay. But I don't really see why he would want to leave other than the obvious chemistry issues and team performance. They showed us, I mean, they haven't shown us with that group that they could win. Obviously, they showed us that they could win without Kyrie, which is nice, but they haven't shown with Kyrie that they could really get anywhere. So,
that's true.
He might go to the Knicks, he might go to the Nets, but they have D'Angelo Russell, and they're going to for sure try to re-sign him, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, if they don't re-sign D'Lo, they're dumb.
Yeah. Plus, he's got a qualifying offer, so they'd have to get him matched. But, yeah, I could see him leaving Is it the best move? Maybe. He's in a good we thought it was a good situation, but now it's kind of being tested. Him and Terry Rozier don't get well. They don't get along at all.
Terry Rozier hasn't even been that impressive this year.
No, they should have traded him when his trade value was at an all-time high. They could have got, like, what was it, like, a first?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next up, Kawhi Leonard. Is he staying or going?
Staying. I can't see him leaving.
I can see him leaving, but I think he should stay.
He really
should. They're literally a top 3 team in the league. And they could contend for a championship this year. The only reason people are saying that he's going to leave is because of the Clippers. And if I had to see him leaving, that's the only team I could see him leaving to, because he's from San Diego, California. The Clippers are a good team. Like, he would fit well on that team.
Clippers are a great team.
They're a great team. He would fit well on that team. Very well into what they're trying to do, and they've proven to win without him. And the Raptors, you know, I want to see him stay in the 6. Will he? I don't know. It's either the Raptors or Clippers, but in my opinion, I think that he will stay with the Raptors. Next up, we're talking about...
He doesn't have much reason to leave, so...
No, you're right. Other than he's from San Diego, that's about it.
Yeah.
And the LA lifestyle, which everybody wants that LA lifestyle, which... We can get into that in another episode. But Kemba Walker, you know, he's been loyal to the franchise for this whole time.
He's very loyal to that franchise.
Which I don't see why he should be. Because what have they done for him? All they did was draft him. They haven't surrounded him with any reason for him to stay. But, I mean, if he wants to not ruin his career, but if he wants to form his legacy like that, then he can go ahead. Always lose. The only reason the Hornets are even a tiny bit relevant is because of him. Without him, they're the worst team. They're one of the worst teams in the league, without a doubt. But he keeps.
I mean, legacy, like loyalty. Sorry, not legacy. Loyalty is a big thing for some people.
Like Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's not gonna sell it for a ring, which I like that because he's in. The Trailblazers aren't as bad as the Hornets. At least the Trailblazers have, you know, surrounded him with CJ and Nurkic, and they signed Cantor, you know, guys like that. I mean, it's still not great, but it's better than Jeremy Lamb and Tony Parker and Cody Zeller.
Thing is, with the Trailblazers, are the Trailblazers loyal to Damian Lillard?
I mean, obviously they haven't really gone anywhere with him, but I don't really think that's his fault. I mean, obviously they got swept by the Pelicans last year, but I think CJ's more the problem. If they had to get rid of someone, if they had to separate that too, I think it's for sure CJ. That'd be out the door. But
I mean, yeah.
And at the trade deadline, you know, the Hornets, they didn't want to give up Bridges, they didn't want to give up Monk, and that's the reason that they haven't gotten him any help. You know, they could have tried to get Beal, they could have tried to get, you know, all these guys, but they just haven't.
They were stupid.
The Mavericks are rumored to be pursuing him, which, I mean, I don't think he's going to sign there. I think he's going to re-sign with the Hornets, sadly. The Hornets, honestly...
I don't know. As much as I would like to see him leave and go somewhere good for his career, I don't know if I do.
Well, not every NBA player carves the same path for themselves, and Kemba is carving the path of playing for a losing franchise all his career, to be honest.
Yeah, that's definitely facts.
But, which is sad, because he is so talented, and he's spending his best years of his career on the Hornets. But we'll see if that changes after this season. Next up, Jimmy Butler, staying or leaving?
Do you think the Sixers get Tobias, KD, and
oh yeah, we could fit Tobias in there too. So Tobias and Jimmy, do you think they stay or do you think they go? Because if one stays, the other one's probably gonna stay. I think Tobias will for sure stay. So what does that mean for Jimmy Butler?
He's a fucking fat. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, he obviously wants to be the alpha dog, but like, I don't know, man.
He's not on that team.
Yeah. And he hasn't done anything that impressive this season. He's obviously still Jimmy Butler, but like...
I mean, he's hit some big shots.
Because who else is gonna shoot in the clutch for them? Ben Simmons, Embiid.
True.
Like he has to take those big shots, you know. He's their leader in clutch in crunch time.
Crunch time. Yeah, that's true.
So you need a guy like that though. You need someone that's gonna take those.
He does step up in the clutch.
He does step up in the clutch, but like, without him, who's really gonna take that role? Embiid is just gonna take in the post for your last shot. Redick, you know.
I mean,
I don't.
being in the post isn't the worst thing.
But in crunch time, Embiid's already tired, and he's already.
That's true.
Because, again, in one of my videos on my channel... Oh, yeah, I forgot to link that. So my channel will be in the description on my own channel where I talk about hoops and hockey. Anyways, back to this. So I talked about Joel Embiid. Hey. I talked about Joel Embiid and how he averages one of the most points during the I think he averages the most points in the first quarter and, like, the second most in the first half. Or maybe even first.
Because he gets... Yeah.
And then he's, like, his net efficiency and just his scoring goes way down after that second half. And that's why I kind of liked how they got Boban as that backup center, because they got someone that could fill in for him so that he doesn't have to play all those minutes.
It's because fat ass gets tired. Just kidding.
You would know. Back to Jimmy Butler. I think he's gonna stay.
Yeah, I think they could at least keep that big four together.
And Redick's a nice complementary piece, so I really like that Sixers team. Are they gonna get Durant? Find out in my channel, next week. Dragon Ball Z. Bro, I was gonna say that. Okay, there's not too many big names left. We've got through the meaty part. There's Marc Gasol, but like I don't really think we care. I mean, sure, he'll stay. He'll probably sign for cheap.
You think, yes. For cheap? How cheap is cheap?
I mean, I don't think he's gonna take 24 million like he's making right now.
Well, no.
I think he likes that winning culture. I think he'll stay.
I mean, who wouldn't?
You know, and he's getting up there in age, you know. I think that he just wants to play for a reason instead of just... I think that if I were at that... Well, I mean, I'm not an NBA player, but I think that he would want to play for a reason instead of just playing for that paycheck. You know, he's actually playing to win on a contending team.
Playing the game you love.
Playing the game you love. On a good team, on a good basketball culture. So, the only two people we really have left are Chris Middleton, who I think is undeniably staying. I don't even think that's a question. I think he's for sure staying. He was an all-star, but he wasn't an all-star.
If the Lakers...
Oh my god, okay.
If the Lakers, like, miss out on all their free agents, they could just use someone to help fucking LeBron do something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like... the backup to the backup to the backup, so on.
Yeah, but I mean, he was an all-star this season technically, even though he wasn't really an all-star.
He was having a down year.
Those weren't. Yeah, he had a worse year than last year, and I really think that those were. He didn't really put up all-star numbers, but I mean, the Bucks need to have a second all-star because of how they were playing. You could argue Bledsoe should have filled in that spot, but regardless, Middleton was an all-star. And the last player that we were going to talk about. Nikola Vucevic, staying or leaving?
With the Magic?
That's the only... yeah, that's all I got, man.
I mean, I think it's better for both sides if he leaves.
Yeah, because the Magic can develop Mo Bamba. Even though Mo Bamba, you know, the Magic aren't very good with development, but they got Fultz, they got Isaac, they got Bamba.
They have a good young core. They just have to freaking learn how to develop it.
That team would be really good if they developed them into good players. Jonathan Isaac, you know, he could be a really good player. Mo Bamba and Markel Fultz, you know, they all have high ceilings. It's just that the Magic need to tap into that potential. But have you heard about that story a while ago that the Magic are, like, getting AIs to scout for them? Like, instead of hiring actual scouts. Oh, you haven't heard that? Okay, Google it. Because basically they were saying how, like,
right now?
The Magic, they, like, paid this company to, like, scout for them. So basically, there's this computer company, and they go through every single college game, and they look at statistics, and they, like, come up with a formula on getting the best prospects. It's this whole big coding thing, and, you know, they bought it, or they didn't buy it, but they were like, they can use it, and no one else in the team can.
Man,
So they have access to all this information that other
Okay.
scouts can't access.
Yeah, yeah.
Will that help? I mean, maybe, maybe not. Yeah,
I don't think so.
those are all
I
the
mean,
free
I don't
agents.
know.
Yeah, haven't the Magic been on a good stretch? They went on a really good stretch earlier. Jonathan Isaac was doing good, but yeah, they're the 9th seed right now. They have to catch up with the Heat, which I want the Heat to make the playoffs, just for the
One
fact that
last
just to
dance.
see Dwayne Wade one last dance, and I'll be getting a Dwayne Wade jersey in about a week, so that's kind of hype. So there's that. I think we've talked about all free agents. Oh wait, I didn't talk about Vucevic. I think he should leave. Yeah, I think it's better for both sides. Is there anything else I really want to add in? Not really. I think you should just go
Where
somewhere.
do you think Vucevic would go, though?
Where he would go, I don't know. There's lots of.
The Lakers.
How many teams? How many teams need centers? You know,
That's a good point.
because how many centers in there? There's Cousins and Vucevic are the big centers in free agency, and I guess you could consider Gasol, but I think he's staying. But what team really? Actually, well, Horford does have a player option, so he could opt out of that, which no one's really talked about that. But I mean, he could opt out of it. We don't know.
You never know what he's gonna do.
Do you think the Hawks, if they could get a center? Partner with John Collins?
I mean, John Collins.
I think they would
and
need
just
like
any center's pretty
a rim
good
protector
1-2
next to
punch.
him.
That's true.
Boogie would nah, Boogie wouldn't be good in that team. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But is
I mean,
there
it
any
makes a pretty good offensive floor, especially if they draft like.
Yeah, but their defense is already pretty bad. With Trae
Yeah.
Young, Kevin Huerter, John Collins isn't the greatest defender. He's a good athletic player, but not the greatest defender. So is there any other points that we want to bring up? I think we've covered all we want to in this podcast. Is there any last thing that you want to bring up?
Rest in peace, Brandon Ingram's career. No, I'm just kidding.
Sure, we can talk about that. So basically, Brandon Ingram, he had that, I don't know what the actual scientific term is, but basically, he has a blood clot in his shoulder, which, I mean, Chris Bosh had a blood...
To his lungs, it's career.
If it goes to his bloodstream or something, or if it goes to his lungs, yeah. Which, hopefully that doesn't happen, because he was showing real promise. Before he went out, he was looking like...
Yeah, like he has to take some like blood thinning medicine or something.
Yeah, and I hope he gets better. Oh, should we do the segment where we go through idiots, NBA commenters?
Do you have any?
I have the Brandon Ingram one.
Oh yeah.
So basically, I'm gonna set it up. I'll put the screenshot on the screen soon. But basically, this was on a Lakers fan page, and it's basically Brandon Ingram, and it just said, "Get well soon, rest up, come back stronger than ever." Motivational stuff. Just trying to look out for him. And this dude, he comes in here on this Lakers fan page.
Golden. Yeah, he's a Golden State fan.
He was a Golden State fan. I'm gonna try to find. Do you have the comments? Oh yeah.
I think they were deleted. They were deleted.
I took screenshots.
Oh well.
I took some screenshots. I can only find 2. So basically, he said basically Lakers suck.
Yeah,
he
just
said
using
that.
this as a chance to bash on the Lakers. And
Yeah,
that's
he
not what it
basically was just
about.
bashing on the Lakers on a Brandon Ingram get well soon post. And he was talking about the Warriors and how the Warriors are way better, how LeBron's a clown, and just the typical.
It's like nobody expected the Lakers to do anything this year, anyways.
Exactly.
We didn't expect them to perform this bad, but again,
And he
didn't expect them to do anything.
And he also said that Curry is better than the whole Laker team, and he was basically just hating on the Lakers, on
It's
a
called being a dumbass. Yeah, like what was he doing with his time on a Lakers fan page?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the only reason I was on there because I go through the search bar and
I'm a Lakers fan? Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was just disrespectful, and he was just saying some stuff that
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure I was like, this
I'm
is
trying to
planning
find it
his
right now.
career, like, just don't be such a dick, pretty much.
Yeah,
And he's
this is
"Oh,
a serious
did you get a
injury.
boo-boo?"
Yeah, he said that's what he said. Yeah, he's like, oh, you can't handle a boo boo, but it's a blood clot. He could get
Like,
serious he could never play basketball again if things go bad, and he's
exactly.
just
Like, to
using
be
this
fair, like,
platform to hate on him. You know, it's just
to be
stupid.
fair, I don't think he understood what the injury was completely.
Well, because on the
But
thing it said a shoulder injury on that
yeah,
certain.
yeah,
Oh, I found the. Okay, so I found the post, and I can't see the I can't see the
yeah. I'm
thing.
pretty sure they were deleted. But yeah, like
Oh,
it
can
it leads me to believe he's just arrogant and stupid. But
can I add something?
if he didn't if he actually knew what the injury was and he was saying those things, that's just you're a terrible human being at that point.
Facts. Like if you go on a page to hate on someone who's facing this big injury, like that's not cool. Like that's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
hateful. But there's this guy, and was the top comment on this comment section. He said, "Good. Fuck that guy. That's what you get for being a
Oh
scumbag."
yeah.
And so they deleted this guy's comment. I don't know if I'll probably blur him out, like the guy who did all this.
User.
Yeah, I'm gonna see because I DM'd him, so I'm just gonna see if you know I was yeah, it doesn't really say anything, but yeah, he was just being disrespectful to Ingram. You know, you don't do that. Like that's not right.
Like, I get it if you don't understand the injury, but
I don't think he did, but like
I
even
mean, even
still,
still, even yeah, exactly. Even still, it doesn't. You should just go
that
be
doesn't
a
give you the
freaking
right to. Yeah, exactly.
dickhead. It's like you're taunting someone. Like, what's the point? You're on Instagram hiding behind your phone. Like, grow some balls.
Exactly. Like hating on something like that's just bad. Anyways, just talk about the Warriors and how I'm a lifelong Warriors fan. Like, shut up.
Exactly. Like,
Like you're the type of honestly, you're the most annoying person on social media. You're the type of you're just so ignorant and you just don't see other point of
yeah,
views. Like
and like, I hate the Warriors as much as every other fucking
every
NBA
NBA
fan that's
fan,
not a
because no one
Warriors
wants
fan.
exactly. If you're not a Warriors
I hate the
fan,
Warriors fan base even more, but
it's not as bad as the
there's a
Jazz.
point where there's a point where it's more than basketball, and that's where you need to like
You know,
just be a decent human
where are
being.
your morals exactly? Like who cares about basketball and what he was doing on the court? Like if you you don't hate on someone for having an injury. Like you don't wish bad things on a person who's going through that stuff. That can mess with you physically and mentally and you know get you all out of whack and you're basically just wanting them to I don't know. It's just a terrible situation and that
Yeah,
guy took
it's
advantage
yeah,
of it. But speaking
and
about the
yeah,
worst
exactly. It's just being asked for no reason.
exactly. Speaking about the worst
Yeah,
fans, so there was
yeah,
that
yo,
Utah
can we talk
Jazz
about
altercation.
those fucking jazz bullshit?
You already know what happened. I'm gonna read off some comments that I found interesting. So, this guy has 80,000 followers on Instagram, and he's a basketball page. Basically, he says Westbrook just soft AF. This happens in the league every night. He's just the only one who responds. Now, he's soft AF. So if you don't know what happened, I'm not gonna take sides, but basically, um, the guy he said that so there was a Jazz fan got in an altercation. He was threatening Westbrook's family, and you know that's just not cool. You don't do that. And people found his
And like,
Twitter.
hey, I like the way LeBron put it. LeBron said like Westbrook could have reacted better,
Exactly, yeah.
which is fair. Westbrook
That
always
because didn't he
overreacts, if
threaten
I'm
his
being
wife?
honest. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
But
that
like
wasn't cool.
Westbrook always
He
overreacts, in my
always
opinion.
he always
But
gets in
then
the
he gets into
moment and
altercations with the fans, especially with those damn Jazz fans. But
there wasn't a couple years ago like the Sixers fan who
yeah,
like flipped
when
him
he,
off.
yeah, yeah.
And you know, this
But
is another case of he said. You know, we don't
yeah,
really
yeah,
know. You could ask people, but everyone has their own side of the story. We don't know.
yeah. But yeah, Westbrook does definitely overreact to some things, but like obviously you still don't go around saying shit like that. Like you're not cool. Like,
Yeah, and
sit
this
your
guy
ass down
said,
and watch the basketball game.
and this guy, suck it up, princess. Like, okay,
Yeah.
if you're gonna call a guy his slave
my
and threaten
God.
his newborn, like, didn't he just have two twin girls not too long ago? Like, you
Yeah,
don't,
and he also has
his wife, yeah, exactly.
kid
You don't
chills with all the time in the car.
do that. And then, yeah, this guy
Bro,
says, "Suck it up, Buttercup." He said,
Westbrook's wife is doing a lot for him now that you think about it. But yeah,
"What do you mean?"
like you said, he had two twin girls.
Well, that's every NBA wife. You know, they look after
That's
the
a
kids while
lot,
the
though.
players.
He also has that other young kid.
He
He has
has, I
that
think
other
it's a
young kid as
son.
well.
I don't know his
Yeah.
name, but yeah, he has a
Oh,
son who,
his son's so cute. Always playing basketball with him during warm up.
yeah, getting those rebounds. You know what I mean? Triple double. Um, but this guy said it doesn't matter
Like
if it
keep
was
step
racial or
for me.
not. He's the only player that fussed about it. At that point, obviously, he could have reacted better. But like, if you're
It just
making
shows
those
you're white.
remarks, that
Just
just
kidding.
if you're making those remarks, like, yeah, you're gonna fuss about it. So if someone says a racial remark to you, you're just gonna shrug it off and like threaten your
Yeah.
family. Like, that's not cool. You don't do that. And this guy, the thing that also gets me is
Again,
people
comes
found his
back down to
Twitter.
being a good human being.
People found his Twitter, and he's a Westbrook hater. He's been hating on him, and you know these remarks. Obviously, he deleted it, but what really got me was they decided to interview this man. They gave him attention, which I liked the first video because it was anonymous. But this video, so I don't know who interviewed him, but someone interviewed him, and he basically told his side of the story, which he didn't need. It didn't help his case anyway at all, and now his face got
Yeah.
out there. He probably can't be seen in public again. Probably no one's gonna recognize him that much, but like people know where he works. I think he works at airline. He probably got fired. I'm not gonna lie, because it all got out there. But that interview,
Yeah.
it didn't help anybody. It didn't help well, I mean, it probably got the interviewers' views, but like
Yeah, it got more and more clout, but I mean,
attention. But like, I mean, people feed off that attention.
Yeah.
But it's also this person. The comments said that this thing is common, which it shouldn't be. These altercations
Yeah, no,
and
that's yeah.
these racial slurs just being out there against players shouldn't be common. You know, the interaction
It's
between
different
fans
if you're
and
just like talking trash rather than talking.
well, to yourself, not
Racial
directly
trash.
to them. Like, you know,
Yeah,
if a player
that
makes
too.
a dumb play, you know, and you say to your friend at the
job.
game next to you, like, "Oh, that was a bad shot" or something, you know. But
Who cares? But if you're like, I'm not gonna be like, "Fuck you, Westbrook." If I'm watching a fucking Thunder game.
do you think that there's because in the NFL obviously they have a big difference or a big you know, the fans and the players, there's a big distance apart from them. Do you think it should be the same like that in the NBA?
No, I don't. I don't like. I don't like that. I like the fact that you're like, I don't know, closer with the fans, I guess.
I like that too, but I feel like the player or the fan should be held more accountable. The guy got a
That's
lifetime
true.
ban, which
Yeah,
I mean,
that's good.
that's
They
good.
Deserve that.
Couldn't he just move to a new city? He's like, screw Utah, I'm moving to
I don't like this team anyways.
I'm moving to Denver. They're about the same. Utah, Denver. I don't know. Mountains. I'm moving to Denver and I'm going to games with a face mask on, so that no one recognizes me. You know. But those are all the points we want to bring up for this podcast. Let me know what you guys think and some things you want us to talk about next episode. That was all for us now. We'll see you in the next podcast. Thank you and goodbye.